Yeah, probably not. I've been trying to explain my reasoning in a more elegant way, but at the end of the day, personally, I'm like your typical girl. I want that feeling of protection and being able to rely on the guy, and that physical attribute just naturally facilitates that feeling. I can't say I actually have, ha ha ha. It's not about being inferior or being compatible in a physical sense. And it's true that it sucks for something that you can't change, but there's plenty of people out there with different preferences and qualities, so don't be hung out about something you can't control. Seems silly to me. So in other words, you're too short, get out of my way. Ha ha. And I think I just got rejected by being short. So that was one of my messages. Till this day, I'm 5'4", well 5'4.5", and yes, I still get rejected, and it still sucks. When it comes to how important is height when it comes to dating and attractiveness, I'm not saying you have an equal chance of dating versus a guy that's 6'2" or 6'3". In the end, being short sucks, it's true. You get bullied. I've gotten bullied. People try to start fights with you because, you seem weak, and girls find you unattractive because that is, height does have a really significant role when it comes to attraction. But hear me out. But me showing that message that I said in the beginning, right here or here on Tinder, shows you that yes, me too, I get rejected because I'm short, because there's girls out there that have a preference. But at the very same time, there's these other YouTube videos where people go out on the streets and interview girls, and they're like 5'10", 6'2", guys, and they're like Calvin Klein models asking girls, hey, does height matter? And the girls usually along the lines of, yeah, I don't think I can. But even I did that interview several times, and people are like, hey, if you replace that short guy with a taller guy, chances are all the girls would say no. My life is ruined. But yes, even though I get it, the girls are on camera, the people I interview are on camera, and they might say, a more fluffed up version, but there is a little bit of truth in what they have to say, because in the end, there's two options that you can do when you're short. You can either, agree with everyone else, feel super crappy and crummy, sit in the corner and be like, I'm short, no one's gonna like me. Or number two is realize that in the end, you only got one shot at this, right? One life. You can sit over here complaining, or you can constantly work on yourself, because that's all you can really do. It's pretty much when you watch these interviews, and one of the reasons why I stopped doing these interview series on that freaking level of basis is that it's essentially, you have this little treasure box, right? And it needs the key to be opened, but it's your treasure box, right? But you're constantly handing out to people. It's like, hey, can you open my treasure box for me? Hey, can you open it for me? But you're the only one that has the key. In other words, you're trying to feel validated, or, get complimented, or make someone else, give you a little shot so you can feel good about yourself. But guess what? People lie to each other. People lie to my face. And the only person that you can trust 100% is yourself. Because, I'm not trying to give you a motivational talk and boost and all this while I'm a 6'2" guy, Calvin Klein model, just interviewing people for the views, right? I did that specific topic because it meant something to me. Because I was that guy when, you lined up for class photos, I would be at the very end because I was the shortest. I was that guy that cried because the girl of my so-called dreams at that period once in my life that I had a huge crush on was like, hey Peter, you're a great guy and all, but I don't date short guys. You're just a little short for me, right? Trust me, I was crushed, and I feel that pain. I know that frustration of being like, damn, I wish it'd be nice to be tall one time. Or like when you're out in a boots and like there's a person, girl, a guy, 6'2", stands right next to you and you're like, I have those moments too, right? But at the end of the day, I'm completely, fine with who I am, and you should be too, because that's how you were born. And we shouldn't judge people on certain characteristics that they're not or are born with. It's like there's this discrimination on looks, right? If you're like born super beautiful and your parents had sex at the perfect amount of time, it's like, good on ya, we praise that. But as someone who's short and unattractive, it's like we judge them, we make them feel bad. And there's other like guys trying to put down short guys, like, it's okay, bro, blah blah blah, your life is ruined. And it's like, I'm here to tell you that I'm short and you're probably short watching this, and it's like, it's not the end of the world. It could be worse, right? You could be born in a third world country, dictatorship, and you wouldn't even hear things like the internet. Be grateful you're alive and own who you are. Like Kevin Hart, do you think him doing his career, someone's like, hey, Kevin, man, you're just too short. You're not gonna make this comedy game. You're not gonna get that hot model girlfriend, wife of yours. Or, hey, Dimitri Johnson, you're way too short, man. You're never gonna be that UFC fighter. You're not gonna have 2 beautiful kids, and you're not gonna have that banging wife of yours. Do you think those short guys let the world tell them who they are? Short story, rant short. How important is height? That has its play, right? But when it comes to attraction to other people, there's way too much other significant factors and roles. And if you're short, you don't have personality, you don't work on yourself, and you constantly rely on feeding off of other people to make yourself feel good, GG, right? Being short does have its good and flaws. The good part is that you're either in 2 lanes. You either work on yourself and you kind of weed out the super vain people, and you constantly weed out the people and you eventually bring in the people that are really good and humble, or you just agree with what everyone else says and you just cry and crumple because you're short, right? The world is not over. I'm here for ya. And I get rejected too, right? But it's not the end of the world. But online dating and being short, that's another story. I'll see y'all in the next one. Deuces.